Number 8. There's another similar thing in Korean, where the sound of any consonant letter that's beside the RL letter basically gets changed into an L. That's why if your name is Henry in English, it might get pronounced Henry in Korean. So the words below, it's Shilla, not Shinra, and Solal, not Solnal. Fun, huh? Well, that's enough about sounds. It's time to move on to grammar. Number 3. Grammar. 3.1. Word order. 1. Basic word order. The first major difference between sentences in Korean and English is the word order. It's important to understand how they are different. Korean order is usually subject, object, verb, and English is usually subject, verb, object. In other words, Korean verbs are always at the end. Let's look at some examples. English, I drink coffee. Subject, verb, object. Korean, 나는 커피를 마신다. Subject, object, verb. 2. Another thing that's really different is Korean sentences use markers at the ends of words to show what each word is doing in the sentence. People don't always say the markers when they're speaking, but the markers are definitely used in writing. You can see the subject marker in red below. However, English doesn't have anything like that. We just use word order instead. English, the train runs fast. Korean, the train fast runs. English, the man who I met yesterday. Korean, yesterday I met man. Number 3. We already said that word order in sentences is different between English and Korean, so let's get a bit more specific. In English, we can say, let's go to the store, with to coming first and the store coming after. However, in Korean, that order is switched. It's like saying the store to in English. English preposition language. I go to Seoul. Korean postposition language. I Seoul to go. Number 4. Another detail is with the verb. When there is more than one verb word. In English, we have helping verbs like can, will, and do, which come before the main verb. But in Korean, the helping part of the verb comes after the main verb and changes it a bit to make a connection. The main verb comes first. English, auxiliary plus verb, I must go to school. Korean, verb plus auxiliary, I to school go must. Number 5. This is kind of similar, but when we use not in English, it's before the main verb. like I'm not sleeping now, right? The not is between the helping verb be in I'm and the main verb sleeping, but anyway, it's still before the main verb. However, guess what happens in Korean? Yep, the not part of the verb comes after the main verb, at the very end. English, negation plus verb. Don't eat. Korean, verb plus negation. Eat, don't. Now that we talked about phonics and grammar, you're already almost a linguist. But there's one more important part we need to go over. 3.2 Grammar and Expressions. Number 1. Not only does Korean have markers that show which word the subject is, it also has markers for the object as well. As I mentioned before, Korean sentence order is usually subject, object, verb. But actually, it's possible to switch the subject and object word order, keeping the verb at the end. We need markers to know which word is which. That's important if you want to know whether A likes B or B likes A, isn't it? It can make a big difference. English, Jinsu reads a book. Korean, Jinsu, a book, reads. Number 2. Another aspect of this word order thing is that we do change the word order in English to make different kinds of sentences. But that's not how different sentences are made in Korean, because the verb always comes at the end. Instead, the changes which make sentences questions and so on fit on the verb at the end, but the verb stays right where it is. English, this is a pen. Statement. Is this a pen? Question. Korean, statement, question, suggestion, and order, the verb is always at the end. Different verb endings make different types of sentences, such as stating a fact or opinion, statement, asking things or asking for things, question, giving recommendations, suggestion, and telling other people what to do, order. Number 3. Another really cool feature of Korean is that adjectives can be verbs. Wait, what? You know, in English, we need to use the be verb or a verb like be along with an adjective to make a complete sentence. You seem like an amazing person. Not so in Korean. This is something that makes Korean sentences very simple and elegant. English, Eva is pretty. Korean, Eva pretty. Number 4. Korea has a high context society, meaning there are lots of commonly understood rules about how to act and talk with each other. An important value is showing respect to seniors and elders. That's why there are different words which people use when speaking about or speaking to people who are older or in positions of authority. Number 5. Finally, Korean follows the opposite order that English does when listing names, places, or dates. That's why Koreans' last names come first. What's more, if we talk about our place in the universe in Korean, we start with the biggest place, the cosmos, and then the next biggest, the Milky Way galaxy, and then getting smaller, our solar system, and finally the smallest, our planet Earth. In Korean, Republic of Korea, Ulsan, Junggu, Jongaro, 345, HRD, Korea. So it's true with addresses too, like where you live or work, and also true for dates. Start with the year, then the month, date, and weekday. Well, I hope you've learned a lot about the Korean language by comparing it with English, and maybe some things about English too. Now you're ready to get started with the next part of this book and really begin using Korean.